Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's topic is a very crucial one. I'll be telling you what are the tips in which you can do to easily have a boy child if that's what you are searching for, and I'll also be telling you the things you can do to easily have a girl child if that's what you are looking for. But before I get into this topic, all these methods I'm showing, they are not 100% effective, but there is one that you can count on it. It's very effective. So all of the method I'll be showing here. But before I get started, if this is your first time watching me, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. What are you waiting for to join this interesting family? And one thing you have to understand is that a child is a blessing from God, irrespective of the sex. Whether it's a boy, whether it's a girl, they are all blessing. I'm a girl child, so I'm also a blessing to my family. So it doesn't matter which sex you have. But in this video, I'll just throw highlights for those that really want to have a boy child, and for those that really want to have a girl child. What are the things you are supposed to focus on? So I will be showing you in this video. Let's go, guys. But before I get to this, you need to first of all know the kind of sperm cell a man produces and the kind of egg cell a woman produces. Why many people say my wife cannot give birth to a boy child, my wife cannot do. The men are complaining their wife will not give them a boy child. Definitely you are the one to give your woman the male chromosome for them to be able to give you a male child, for those that are searching for a boy child. So the woman has nothing to do with that, because the woman only has the XX chromosome, which is for a female child, but the men, they have both the female and the male chromosome. So only the man can give the wife the male chromosome for the wife to be able to give birth to a male child. So before I get started, you need to know the kind of chromosome that a man will produce and the kind of chromosome that a lady will produce. So for the women, they will produce the XX chromosome, which is the female chromosome. The woman will produce XX. For the men, they will produce the XY. So only the men has the probability to give the lady the Y chromosome, which is the boy chromosome. So let me say the X is released from the woman and another X is released from the man. It leads to XX. This will result to a girl child. Then, for example, if the man releases the Y chromosome and the lady releases the X chromosome, when they come together, the result will be a boy child. So that's the outcome of it. So if you are looking for a boy child, your man has to release the Y chromosome and the lady the X chromosome, giving the XY. The lady, they only have the XX chromosome, that's the female chromosome. But for the men, they have both the female chromosome and the Y chromosome, which is the boy chromosome. So in order for you to have a boy child, your husband needs to release this Y chromosome, and the Y chromosome will get in contact with the X chromosome from the female, giving rise to a boy child. So that's how it comes about. But what is the theory behind this? There was a great scientist who brought out this theory that you need to know. Let's say, for example, the chromosome, I will just be using the chromosome as the male sperm and the female chromosome as the female sperm. So before I get into that, you need to first of all understand this. You have the woman chromosome, which is the XX, the male chromosome, which is the XY. So these are the characteristics of this chromosome or of these sperm cells. So the male sperm cells is usually very fast, and then for the female sperm cell, it's usually slower when it comes to the movement. Then for the male sperm cell also, it's lighter, but the female sperm cell, it's usually very heavy. And then for the male sperm cell, they only last for 3 days, but for the female sperm cell, they last for 5 days. And when you come now to the size, the male sperm cell is usually very smaller, and the female sperm cell is usually the one that is bigger. How will it lead to the outcome of you having a boy child or maybe a girl child? So, but first you need to have a mastery of your menstrual cycle and precisely your ovulation when you are ovulating. So let me take, for example, for a 28 days menstrual cycle, this person is ovulating on day 14. Let me say this is day 14A. On day 14 is the day when the egg cell will be released. This is it. So you have here day 13, day 12, day 11, day 10, day 9. release on day 14. So day 14 is the ovulation, the precise ovulation day. So let's take, for example, now this person had sex on day 12. So the sperm will be released from day 12. So let's take, the person had sex here on day 12. So day 12 coming to the day when the egg will be released. So you see it's 2 days. So let's go now to the characteristics of the different sperm cell. So if the person had sex on day 12, the male sperm cell, it's moving very fast. So let's watch what is going to happen. So for the male sperm cell, they are moving very fast. It's going to move very fast and make the egg. This is the egg. But for the female sperm cell, they'll be moving very slowly. This is it, moving very slowly. Before it meets the egg, the male sperm cell must have already fertilized the egg. And when this happens, what will be the outcome of the baby? Definitely the outcome of the baby will be a boy, because the Y went faster and was able to fertilize the egg before the female sperm cell could arrive. So the outcome of this will be a boy. That's why it's always advisable for you to have a mastery of your ovulation. Once you know it very well, you will know, it will help you to increase your probability of having either a girl child or maybe a boy child. So in this situation, if you know the day when your egg will be released and you have sex very closer to that day, there is a high chance that you are going to have a boy child instead of a girl child. So but let's take, for example, let's take another example. This same person had sex on day 9. This is day 9. From day 9 coming to the day of the egg. This is the egg. This person had sex here, so you have the X chromosome will be released and the Y chromosome also, which is the boy chromosome, will be released. So as we are saying, the male chromosome goes very fast and it lasts only for 3 days. So if you have sex on day 9, how many days before your egg is being released? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is no way the boy chromosome is going to survive moving through this long 5 days. So it's going to just take 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to take day 1, day 2, day 3, and by day 3 it's already dead. It cannot continue to meet the egg. Unlike for the X chromosome, which is the girl chromosome, it moves very slowly, but it's resistant. It can last for up to 5 days. So for this situation now, it's going to be moving slowly, but it can last for up to 5 days. So as it's moving slowly, it's able to meet the egg. So in this situation now, the result of the baby in this case will be a girl child. But the result of this one will fail, so you will not have a boy child in this case. So for the Y chromosome, it will not be able to meet the egg. But when it comes to the X chromosome, you will be able to meet the egg successfully and fertilization is going to take place, which will result to a girl child. That's why you have to know which gender you want and when is the right time for you to have sex within your ovulation period. So, and also you see for the Y chromosome, it lasts only for 3 days. The X chromosome, it's going to go for 5 days. That's why it's able to fertilize our egg. Let's take another example again on this. So let's take another example for this case. Let me say the person happened to have sex on exactly day 13. That's 1 day before the egg is released. This person had sex on day 13. This is the egg. So when the person had sex on this day, you have both the X and the Y chromosome are being released on this day. So once it's being released, the X can equally fertilize the egg. The Y, which is the boy, can equally lead to the fertilization of this egg. But what happens? The boy chromosome, it's running faster than the female chromosome. So definitely both will be coming, the Y is going to, which is the boy, it's going to move faster and fertilize the egg before the girl child ever reach the egg and fertilize it. So you have to take note on this. The eggs will be moving very slowly. Before it reaches the egg to fertilize it, the Y chromosome, which is the boy, must have already fertilized the egg, leading to a situation of a boy. This one will give a situation where it will be a girl, but this will not be possible because this is moving very slowly. Meanwhile, the one for the boy, it's moving very fast. So the Y chromosome, which is the boy, is moving very fast and will definitely fertilize the egg. All of this you have to put into consideration. So the male sperm, it's moving very fast at a very faster rate, and the female sperm, it's moving very slowly. But the advantage the female sperm have is that it lasts for 5 days. Even though it's moving very slowly, it can last for up to 5 days. But for the male sperm, it's moving very faster. It can only last for 3 days, and most of the times, as it's moving very faster, it gets tired on the way, which might not equally meet the egg at the right time. But the eggs now will be the one to meet the egg. So knowing your ovulation and knowing the right time in which you can have sex is very important. Having sex early and closer to the day of your ovulation or when the egg will be released will give you a high chance of either conceiving with a boy child as compared to a girl child. But for someone who is looking for a girl child, it's better for you to have sex some days, like 4 to 5 days before your precise ovulation day. Because if you have sex closer to your ovulation day, definitely the target chromosome that is going to fertilize the egg will be the Y chromosome. But if you do it some days behind, like 5 days behind, the one which is going to target the egg cell will definitely be the X chromosome, which is the female chromosome. So there is a high probability in this situation you are going to have a girl child in this case. So always take note there. So now the second factor that can increase your chance of either having a girl child or a boy child, it's for the woman to be able to reach orgasm. So you need to know when your woman has reached orgasm. That's the best time. Normally the vagina is always very acidic. So when a woman reaches orgasm, it helps to provide a favorable condition in the vagina. It makes the vagina more favorable and more welcoming. It brings down the pH of the vagina, making it to be more alkaline. So when it's more alkaline, this provides a favorable condition for the sperm to survive and for the sperm to easily swim through and meet the egg in the fallopian tube for fertilization. So when a woman reaches orgasm, it gives more advantage for the sperm to move faster. So if you are having sex with your wife and she has not yet reached orgasm, it will make it very difficult for the sperm cell to move. So once a woman reaches orgasm, it helps make it faster for the sperm to move through. It provides a more favorable condition. It makes the vagina more alkaline as compared to the acidic nature. When it's very acidic, it makes it very unfavorable for the sperm. Like, let me take for example a swimming pool where there is no water, you have many stones, it's very muddy. Definitely the swimmer will not be able to swim through that swimming pool. But if the swimming pool has clean, the water is filtered and it's very good, definitely it will be very easy for the swimmer to swim through. So that's the same case with when it comes to a woman reaching orgasm. Once she reaches orgasm, it prepares the vagina. It brings it down from that acidic nature, making it more alkaline, which makes it more favorable for this sperm to move through and move faster and meet the egg. So when that happens now, in this case, for example, if the vagina is very favorable, like the woman has reached orgasm, it makes it more alkaline. When it's more alkaline, it makes this male chromosome to move faster and to be able to meet the egg. But if the woman has not reached orgasm, the condition will not be favorable if this sperm cell to move through. And when it's not favorable, which one do you think can support that unfavorable condition? Definitely it will be the female chromosome, because this female sperm cell can last for up to 5 days, so it can support that harsh nature. So when that happens, if your woman does not reach orgasm, there is a high chance that chromosome that is going to fertilize the egg will be the female chromosome, therefore giving birth to a female child. But in the case where she has reached orgasm and everything is very okay, the environment is suitable and it's now alkaline, the sperm can easily swim through without any difficulties, the male chromosome will be the one to go faster and equally fertilize the egg. So those are the difference. And the next thing also is the sexual position, the sexual styles you people are using. So there are many theories that if a man is having sex with a wife, maybe using a missionary position, it makes it difficult for the sperm to be released right at the cervix position. That's why many people advise, depending on the sex of the child you want, you need to also know the sexual position to use. For example, example, if you are having a missionary position, many people believe the sperm will always be deposited either at the mouth of the vagina or just beneath the cervix. It will not be pushed right inside the cervix. So when that happens, it gives rise to a high probability of this person having a girl child rather than a boy child. But for example, like other sexual position like the doggy style, the penetration is very high. So when the penetration goes right further, there is a high probability this sperm will be released right inside the cervix. And when that happens, it gives chance for the male chromosome, which is the Y chromosome, to move very fast and easily reach the egg before getting tired, or maybe before dying on the way, since as it only lasts for 3 days. So the sexual position also counts a role. So you need to know the kind of sexual position you want to have sex with, and also to know the kind of baby you want. If you want a girl child, you know what to do. A missionary position, it's more favorable for that. If you want a boy child, it's better to do a deep penetration method, which is a doggy style. So that will also influence the gender of the baby you are also going to have. You need to also know the kind of food you are consuming. Eating cranberry will help to build you good cervical mucus, and also being hydrated. When you are hydrated, your cervical mucus will be very good. It helps you to produce a good cervical mucus. And you know, this sperm cell, the X and the Y chromosome, they need a very favorable condition to move through. So a woman who can produce a good and favorable cervical mucus, she will increase her probability of the male sperm moving very faster and reaching the egg, as compared to a lady that doesn't produce favorable cervical mucus. When the cervical mucus is not favorable, the only chromosome that can easily survive that kind of condition is the female chromosome, because it can resist and it can last for 5 days. So this is the one that can easily support that unfavorable condition and easily fertilize the egg. So in this situation, if you can produce good cervical mucus, it makes it very easy for the male's chromosome to move faster and within a very short time and make the egg, leading to a boy child. But if your cervical mucus is not really that favorable for sperm to move through, definitely is the X chromosome that is going to move there slowly and gradually, and maybe for a longer period, and make the X chromosome, leading to a girl child. So the fertilization of the egg is going to give rise to a girl child. So those are the points you have to take note. So the very last method I'll be explaining is the artificial insemination, and this is the one that has the highest chance and the highest probability of you having your desired gender you want. This one is a scientifically researched method which is more effective as compared to this other method that I explained earlier. So for this method, it depends on the desired gender you want. If you want a girl child, the scientists or the fertility doctors, what they will do most of the times is that they will focus on the XX. They will take the X chromosome from the woman and the X chromosome from the man. So this will give you a high probability of having a girl child. But when it comes to the fact that you want a boy child, definitely they are going to focus to separate the Y chromosome from the man and the X chromosome from the lady, which will equally lead to a male child. So these are the methods. But one thing I want to tell you is that this will just help increase your probability. It's not very certain. You can still follow all of this and your result will not actually be what you are expecting, but at least this is going to increase your chance of having your desired gender you want. And one thing you have to understand is that all the babies in the world, they are blessing from God, irrespective of the sex. I know many people, they are just being fed up, like, I already have 4 boys, I want a girl, I'm searching for a girl. So if you are searching for a girl, you can just follow this method, and maybe luckily it's going to increase your chance of having a girl child. Same also if you are searching for a boy child, please just follow this method. It's just going to increase the probability. And if it happens that finally you get your required gender, please don't forget to comment below as you are watching. And if this is your first time watching me, please, what are you waiting for? If you haven't yet subscribed, click on the subscription button, join this amazing family. I'm going to be dropping very interesting videos and very educative one in which you can learn and gain some knowledge. So stay tuned and keep watching. Love you all.